Hello? Hello? Is there anybody here? Hey! Hey! Is anybody here?
Stare at the light.
Okay.
Stare at the bright light. Don't go near it.
Don't go into the light.
We are looking for people who have stories about
And their own raging imaginations.
and how they got there to have some raging imagination. I'm Danielle.
I'm Mike.
We are Raging Imagination.
Yes, we are a new podcast setting up, and we are looking for people and ideas.
You never know. Your story might resonate with someone else. They'll have a story, and then someone else will have a story.
They'll have a story, and then someone else will have a story.
Just imagine the experience with raging imagination. And people and ideas that we are looking for are people who are emotional about the arts.
That's right, that have their own raging imaginations.
And we want to hear about it.
What inspired you in your art?
How did you get to your art?
Did your story push you towards your art, or does your art get influenced by your story? Share it with the world, and let's get connected through our art.
We want to hear it. We want to see it. We want to share it. Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, we are back, and we are the Raging Imagination. And I can't take you seriously. I hope you guys have enjoyed our previous podcasts. We have had some pretty light, fluffy things. We've had some pretty deep conversations. And today we are going to have an interview with my friend Emily.
She's my friend, too.
She's more my friend.
Oh,
I don't take sides,
I will fight you.
but Danielle is my bestie.
It's on camera.
well, okay, that's fine.
Just kidding.
I love you too, Mike.
She cast her as a prostitute.
Don't worry, Mike. One day we'll get someone in here for you.
Okay.
We can find a friend for Mike.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are here to talk with Emily about theater. Theater. How do you want to tell us the story about theater? Do you want to tell us your origin story? We got to hear about my origin story in our first podcast.
Should mention a little bit about who she is first.
Yeah.
Random person named Emily, this is your friend.
Okay, sorry.
tell
I got
story.
so excited. I have so much. Okay, anyways, Mike, you can probably do this so I can like simmer down a little.
Okay.
Mike knows me too. He can introduce me as well.
I'm going to do the outline of Emily. I first discovered who Emily was through. You were part About Time Productions, or were you
No, I'm-
only Phoenix?
Just Phoenix. I found you through a random audition call that I saw on Facebook that you were looking for a woman to come in last minute to take over a large role in the Gifts of the Magi.
Gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
That was the first time. And,
Yeah.
you were heavily involved in Leduc at the time.
I was, yeah. I'd just started coming out to cameras. I had just done one show. No, that was before I did. I think that might have been actually, I can't remember now timing wise, if that was right before I did Adam's Family with
That was before Adam's Family.
Yeah, okay, so it was before I did anything with Church Mice even. So like Infinite was my first anything Camrose theater art scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your Camrose Cherry Pop.
Yep, indeed.
And the only kids you were teaching were yours.
At that point in time, yes. Yeah. No, I wasn't teaching anywhere yet.
Emily, you've got half a baseball team too, don't you?
Just about, yeah. I've got 5.
She has 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's got one more than me.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. No, that's excellent. And then
I started sooner though. I'm a lot older than this young pup over here. So I've got some that are just about to leave the nest, and then my youngest is the same age as Danielle's oldest. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So Emily was part of Leduc Drama Society,
I still am. Yeah.
and still are. And then you came down here, started doing stuff with Church Mice, and you're a musical lover. I can tell by the plethora of tattoos on you. You're a bit of a Disney. Would you call it Disney whore? Is that
No, never too. Nothing's too much for a dramatic theater person. Yeah, I have a lot of Disney tattoos and tattoos that represent some of the shows I've been in, or just characters, movies, things that I loved over the years. So yeah, I'm kind of like a walking sticker book of all the things that catch my eye and make me happy.
too much?
I love
And
that.
most recently, she was in Midsummer's Night's Dream. She got to play
Robin Goodfellow,
Robin Goodfellow.
otherwise known as Puck.
Puck.
Bucket list role for me, so that was an awesome experience. I've been wanting that role since I was 14 years old, and so it only took a long time to get there.
You did it.
I did it.
I'm so glad we did that. Shakespeare is something. We'll have a whole episode on that someday and talk about Shakespeare. But that was a great one. You were a fairy.
I was the fairy. Excuse me, Mike.
I guess I'm going to be a lot louder now because my mic was off.
Oh no!
Or muted. So, anyway, should I talk twice as loud to make it up, or?
Talk twice as much, not twice as loud.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no problem here.
Don't encourage him.
What have I
I'm
agreed
going to I'm going to put out the claim to fame. My what I love about Emily most is. When you did the play, Girls Don't Play Hockey. That was when you have somebody that can play several different decades of age of a character, and you don't do it with anything more than I don't even think you changed costumes.
I didn't,
Grab the
nope.
ice skates. You grab something else, and
It was like all props, just like I'm gonna
was-
hold this dress against me and go to prom.
I did have a
And-
prom moment, yeah.
And yeah, now I'm gonna play hockey, and I'm holding hockey sticks and
Stumbling on the
skates
skates and not able to skate because I was like 4, I think, in one of the
Yeah,
opening
yeah.
scenes. Yeah.
and that was a play by Louise Mallory.
Louise Mallory, yes.
That's a phenomenal story. I really
yeah.
loved what she did there.
Local to Edmonton, fabulous woman, playwright, stage manager. I'm not sure if she acts herself. I know she does a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and so
She's, I think she's part of Walterdale.
she is. Yeah.
Yes, I've
Okay.
seen her. She's done Cradle to Stage at Citadel. She's done a few other things that I've noticed through Facebook.
Yep.
I don't know her well, but she falls into a Danielle category. Very happy all the time. A lot I've noticed, at least around me. you
Yeah.
know, so.
No, I've.
So what was your first introduction to? What was your first art form that really kind of pulls you in?
tickled your fancy.
Well, somehow I just knew that I always wanted to act, even though I didn't actually have a lot of opportunities as a child. It's kind of embarrassing to say now. My first claim to fame was when. Do you remember in elementary school when like every month there'd be an assembly and there'd be like one class that got to like lead the assembly or do something special for the assembly for the rest of the school? Is that still a thing? I don't know. It's been many years since I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
But I was in grade 7 and it was our class's assembly and we chose to write our own play and we made a parody on the movie Speed.
Wow.
So happy.
I so want to see that.
It was not good. It was not good. And somehow I got to help write the script and then also got cast as like the lead role, like the Keanu role
Keanu
kind of
Reeves?
thing. I was a cop.
I'm so super jealous.
And all I remember is, I remember wearing a cop uniform and posing for my parents in front of like a good old film camera in the living room like this before my performance. And we had I was dyslexic or somebody was dyslexic. And so like the bomb on bus came out bomb on Gus. And we found a guy named Gus that was on the bus and we threw him out the window. And that's literally all I remember of the script because this would have been like 1995, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Like
it was.
1995 is such like a big year.
It was many a year ago. And as ridiculous and cheesy as it was, I took it seriously and I gave it my all, man. And then the next year, our school had never done this before. I'd been there for a few years. They decided to put on a musical. And I was like, this is my chance to do theater. And my mom had acted when she was a kid and had always talked about theater and drama. And so I was like, I knew my mom could act and that was something that she loved. And I was just like, I'm going to love it too. I just know. And even though I really had no frame of reference because I hadn't done anything. And it was Your Good Man, Charlie Brown. And I played Schroeder.
I love it.
The pianist.
The pianist, yes. I had a little baby grand piano.
Pianist.
Little teeny tiny one. And it was a lot of fun. And my best friend's dad was a high school drama teacher. And he came out and was like, she actually knows how to.
It was okay.
No, he was like, he's like you. He's not a musical guy, but he was just like, Emily can actually act.
You recognize talent. Yeah.
And then next year, I moved into high school and I did a Shakespeare. I got cast in a Shakespeare show that he was casting. And I got some flack for this from some of the older kids. I, as a freshman, got a bigger part than they thought I should because I was a freshman. And he said, yeah, because you were the best one for the role. So
That happens.
yeah. And then I just kind of kept doing it whenever and however, everywhere I could possibly could. I auditioned for a ton of things that I never got into, but I didn't let it stop me. Like I tried to get into Saskatoon summer players and like community groups and stuff like that. And there was always like you would go and there would be like lineups out the building and around the block. There'd be like, there was like 75 girls there for Anne of Green Gables. And I was like, and I'm not a soprano, so there was no flipping way I was getting that role. But I tried anyways, embarrassed the heck out of myself. But, you know, I did it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really get into the community theater until I was an adult. I just did everything through school. I was part of a Young Actors Developmental Drama Association, YADA. It was, which was actually a company started by my best friend's dad, the guy who I was just talking about, Mr. Ratzlaff. He started that along with one of his former students that was also now a fully grown adult, and they wanted to do something beyond just more than what we could do at school. Yeah. So like more outside projects, and it was by audition. Like you had to, so like we didn't, so it was a little bit elite, or it felt like it was because like we had to audition to get into the club. So I was one of the first members, and that's also the first place I got to learn about directing. I got to direct. And act, and we did stuff that now as an adult I look back and I'm just like, wow, that was pretty ballsy that we did that with teenagers. Some of that content was on the edge, man. But we loved it. Saskatoon.
Saskatoon,
Yeah.
okay, because that's like
Yeah.
nothing going on there really. Is there?
Saskatoon. There's a Persephone Theater, and there's Gateway and Summer Players,
What's the
and
population of Saskatoon-ish?
250.
It's the big city in
250, 280,000.
Oh, okay.
About
Okay.
that.
So that's city life.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like
So you had a bit of an maybe more opportunity than a rural kid.
yes, yeah. When I got married, my husband and I moved into a rural area, and I went into a drought where there was like nothing. I drove an hour and 40 minutes to go be in a one act in Regina. And it was one way. Like, and I did like, and it was like rehearsals 2-3 times a week because I was like, I need to do something. We didn't have kids yet, so that made a difference. And then I dipped my toes in the community theater scene there, and it was not pleasant.
So what is it about it that pulls you in there? What we all have different reasons why we love the theater, and there's it's
It's so funny. It's like I can't even put it into succinct words. It's just like I need it. Like I need water. I need to breathe. Like it's
just a part of
it's
your
just a
being.
part of who I am. Like any time an audition notice or a new play like pops up, like I have to check out what it is, and if it's something that I want to be in, I will move mountains to make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I
You know,
totally agree.
if it's a show that I want to be in, and to a point that I actually have to actively, and I'm working on this more specifically this year, learn to say no because I want to do all of the projects, and I will then and then I will sacrifice.
every day.
Yeah, I have. I've
Let
been.
me play the. I'll play.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean,
I'll do it.
I don't. Not in an arrogant like. I don't want to be
No,
like
no.
a Brana. Sorry, that's maybe kind of rude. Kind of guy where it's like, everybody look at me. I will star in this and produce this and direct this and like no. I just that I want to be in so many shows and I always want to be involved in more shows that I will neglect other parts of my life that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm just realizing I need to get better at that balance.
Yeah.
Because I still do have young kids at home, and so I don't want to always be saying, no, I can't hang out with you. I got to go to rehearsal. To my kids, right? Like
Yeah.
that's not okay. So
Yeah.
finding that balance of, I still need something for me because I homeschool and I have 5 kids. So I mean, they're around me a lot. They get a lot of me.
Yes.
And so I do need an outlet, but I don't need that outlet to become more important than my family and like relationship, like commitments to my husband, my family, my household.
I want to do
all
an
that.
episode on theater widows. Just got to convince my wife to let me interview her.
I am blessed in the sense that, although my husband might consider himself a theater widower at times, he's a theater guy too. So he gets it. He unfortunately his career does not. His schedule for his day-to-day job does not lend itself to being in theater productions because he works day shifts and night shifts, and so like he doesn't often have the availability to make all the rehearsals and stuff like that, and that's not always fair to the rest of the people, even though, so.
I mean, my wife.
So he gets it. He gets
Kathy
that I want to
totally
do it all
gets
the time.
She knows that I will cease being me without this sort of stimulation.
Yeah.
So, Oh, I know for me, it's.
I'm just thinking of my husband, my poor husband.
He didn't know. You're so new.
Band widow too, aren't you?
You're so new to it. He didn't know.
He kind of got like slapped
Blindsided.
I got blindsided. I didn't realize what I was signing up for.
You're welcome. That was all me.
There's a nice story. So just for the record,
I was the gateway that brought Danielle into this world.
Emily was the marijuana that got her into it, and she's in there, and it says we're going to do this Fierce Women project, which is really successful. We raised about $1,800 for the Camrose Women's Shelter Society, and it was really cool. And I says, well, we're going to do this, whatever. And then Danielle and her cast, no, I don't think we want to do it, and whatever. This is big rehearsals, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I've got the time. Like I got 3 kids. I'm
And then we hit her with the
homeschooling.
cocaine, which is the performance.
The performance,
first performance night.
the energy of the audience, the lights, the sounds,
Mike,
the
is it still
applause.
too late? Is it too late to get into that other show? No.
Like, can we come? Like I can make it work. They're like, yes, we do need
Yes, we
you. I was
can.
like, oh, okay, good. And then my poor husband kind of got slapped in the face. Was like, well, this is Tech Week. I'm not home. And he's like, why?
What's Tech Week? Well, let me tell you.
And then-
I'm walking into Tech Week this Sunday, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Oh.
And
Yes,
but like it was
yeah.
just, it was so
Right.
funny
For
because I
the
went.
Crimson Cap.
For the Crimson Cap ladies, yes.
Hey, plug 'em
Can I
up.
have a plug? Yeah, so if you want to come see a hilarious show that's based on the Red Hat Ladies Society, so it pays homage. It's not like poking fun at.
Yeah.
It pays homage to that whole Red Hat Society, and so they are the Crimson Cap ladies, and there is an
As
escaped
opposed to the
con.
Burgundy Cap.
There's an escaped
Brighter
con
red.
on the loose, and you just have to come and find out like how that affects the Crimson Cap ladies and why that's important. But they catch a con, and it is playing at the McLab Theatre in Leduc, Alberta, next weekend, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Doubleheader on the 12th. So there's a matinee. 2 p.m. matinee, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening at 7:30.
And that's a series. Like The author's name?
Chris McCarricker is the playwright. He's local from Kalmar, and he has written a number of Crimson Cap Lady capers, we call them. And so this is one of the first ones that he wrote many years ago. It was originally put on in Kalmar, I think, between 10 and 15 years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago. And the characters... the whole series is based off of the Red Hat Society, but there was characters specifically written that were based off of women that he knew in his life. And so, but I let anybody come in for auditions and like make those characters their own and stuff like that. And so, Chris has liked what he's seen.
Totally recast 4 new ladies every time?
Yeah, we don't. Like just because you got to play Millie one time doesn't mean that you now own that role. Actually, this round I have a number of people that are brand new that I've never worked with and are actually like newer to theater in general. And then I've got some very experienced, long-time standing ladies who have been in a number of Crimson Cap shows, but they're all in different roles than they've played before.
Oh, that's exciting.
The last time we did a Crimson Cap Ladies in Leduc, it was right post COVID, and we performed it in our own playhouse in a smaller venue, our Millie from that show is our Esther in this show. Very, very different characters, so it's really kind of fun for me to see. To cast people in opposite roles than what they've played before and pull something different out of them.
Yeah.
So
That's really cool.
That is cool. I gotta shout out to Leduc. They got a what's that?
Leduc, Canada.
Leduc, Alberta,
Leduc,
Canada.
Alberta, Canada. Yes,
Looks like Leduc, but it's Leduc.
Oh my God! Try speech to text; it does not know. It. The Duke.
The Duke.
No. I really like that club too. I've done a number of things with a lot of people. Emily, and I wonder if you're the first Leduc person I knew. I met a few people through a one-act festival we did years ago, and I've done. I got to go to the Fringe for the first time.
Yes, you did.
What's his name?
With Keith
Gummer
was the director, and
Yes.
Cole Olson.
Cole Olson, good friend of mine. He's coming back here soon.
Yay! Oh, awesome.
Hopefully, please.
Fingers
Love
crossed.
you.
Please come back, Cole. We miss you.
And
Are we allowed to say the name of that show? Because it was...
don't you fucking
Say a word. Yep.
Yeah.
That was the title of the show.
I don't remember the name of the title, but it had a swear word in it.
Yeah.
Sonia Gould, who's done some stuff with us.
And Maddie Whitlow.
Yeah. And she was, she does a lot of improv and other stuff. Still in school, or is she done yet?
I don't know. I actually don't know her personally. And I wasn't involved in either of, because she did those 2 shows with Leduc, but I wasn't on the production team for either of them. So I actually never really got to know her. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. And my most favorite thing was Leduc gave me a role they shouldn't have. And
Not true. Like, you were
what
awesome.
What an old fat guy has any right to be playing Wadsworth in Clue? This is like Tim Curry. It's just like, what? Are you kidding me?
80s Tim Curry at like the top of his game.
It's a super high point of my acting experiences of my 30-ish years. I absolutely had so much fun doing it. So much pushed me to do things that I didn't know I could do. And I had just so much fun. And the whole cast, Peter Dickout, God, he must have had a terrible childhood.
I've wondered myself.
Oh my God, I can't remember all of the names. Who was the director?
Like the boy named Sue. Right?
Christine and Peter.
Cindy Wagner was the director.
Christine Wagner.
Cindy Wagner.
Cindy Wagner, and her daughter was the stage manager.
Yep.
And Maddie was in that one too. It was just so much fun. Benton.
Yep, Benton Bonwick.
Benton Bonwick, who was in Our
Benton.
Lizards Don't Have Dicks.
Yeah.
That's right.
And James Wagner was in that, and Armand,
Christine's husband.
and Christina Estelore.
Yeah.
James is playing Lurch in Addams Family coming up at in Leduc as well. Not Leduc Drama Society, but with the
Who's the
Stageworks.
little bald drummer guy?
Jason.
Yes, sorry, Jason.
He's not little.
Well, it's compared to me. It's all perspective, right? Anyway, he was. I was talking to him not too long ago, and where was that? Was it at the festival? Oh, maybe it was. But we were talking with him, and he's. Was talking about maybe experimenting down south and to Camrose and seeing some of the other stuff.
He's another guy that was kind of in the outside. He was always often in the band for musicals with Leduc, playing the drums and stuff like that. And then a couple of years ago, another friend of ours, Sharon Reichert, talked him into doing a one act for the Kids Fringe, and he got bit by the bug too. And then I invited him to come out and be in an ensemble in a musical. And he was like, what am I doing? I don't know anything about that. And he walked in the door, and he's just like, and he's been in every ensemble he can be since then. And he keeps trying and doing bigger parts. And he's again, a little bit later in life to the game kind of thing. And then just like broadsided with, I love this.
Like, this is so much fun.
This is so much fun. I'm going to do it all the time.
Yeah. It is a drug. Yeah. I mean, it was a drug. From Little Orphan Annie, just doing those little roles, and I was just like, my God, I get to do this? Yeah. This is what it's about? And, I've never looked back at one moment. I've never looked back and said, I've had enough. I just could not imagine saying that. I mean, sometimes you want a quieter role. Sometimes you want, it's fun to play the ensemble that only has 10 or 15 lines and you get to character it up. Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun to be the lead. I love character roles.
You've directed.
I direct and I act. I never like to advertise myself as a singer dancer. I'm always like, I'm an actor who can sort of sing enough to do community theater. But I've been trying to push myself to get more confident in my singing. Yeah. But I love smaller roles that get to steal the one scene that they're in. Yeah. Like I don't need to steal the show.
Are you a mugger?
No, I don't mean steal the show, but I mean like just like
steal that moment.
That moment. They get their own moment. That's just like one of my favorite roles that I did was recently. I was Fletcher in Freaky Friday, which is weird because Fletcher is a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, I was just like, that's...
a 10-year-old boy, which apparently I can look quite realistically like on stage from a distance. There were people in the audience that didn't realize I was an adult. So that was fun. I love when I can actually convince people and trick people that I am that character, that I'm not so far removed from that character than I really am. Yeah. And it was not a big role. It was an important role, but like I had speaking lines. I had a couple little singing lines, but like nothing, like I didn't have my own whole song or anything like that. Like I got to sort of join in as a tag along. Yeah. I was the annoying baby brother, and I was going through some weird grieving stuff. And so like I talked through puppets a lot. I had puppets. And
that was fun.
And then I had some heartbreaking moments as him where, because Freaky Friday, the mom and the daughter switch, right? And so then I'm talking to who I think is my mom, and it's actually my teenage sister, and she says some horrible things that just like take your feet right out from under you. Like, parents lie. Like, my mother wouldn't have told me that. My 17-year-old sister, who is also angry and grieving, and now suddenly has to act like my mother for the day, didn't know how to respond, and like told me Santa's not real, kind of a thing, right? Like just broke my heart, and I run away in the play. What? And so, yeah. I'm sorry, Mike.
Santa's not real?
She took it back.
Oh.
Santa is real.
She was lying.
She was lying. Okay. But she said some other things. Like, she pulled it back in the very last second. And like, no, never mind. And so I got some really emotional, like, feedback from the crowd for that. This heartbroken little boy running off with his suitcase and his puppets because his sister, who he thinks is his mom, just told him that, like, mom and dad aren't perfect and parents lie and the world sucks sometimes. And
is that amazing when you get that reaction from an audience?
Yeah, and I mean, like it was just like, I connected with it. I could imagine. I could remember some hard stuff that I went through as a kid, that I had to grieve through. And then I have kids that age, and imagining me as their mom saying something like that to them and how that could just like shatter their worldview. And, but yet at the end, like it's actually like a bubbly, fun, happy ending type of show.
But that's the actor's mindset.
Yeah.
Everything is deeper and more emotional from our perspective. You know, I mean, it's like Wadsworth. I mean, I'm just, oh my God, the tragedy of having to make your own way in world. You know, you make it more, and then and the audience reads it really well. So.
My absolute favorite reaction from the audience was that my boss Sam, that who I teach for at the Phoenix Academy, was sitting behind a row of young kids, and they were like, I don't think that boy's only 10. He's got to be at least 15. And I was like,
Sorry.
Try 40.
She's 40.
So, but I talk too much, and we're getting the wind up signs. So
Yeah, we are. I love the fact that I lost you in both of those. Like, and that's the sign of a good actor, strong actor, a powerful actor is like, you forget it's Emily, and you get drawn into these character traits.
that just makes me so tickled.
And when you,
She's also a pleasure to work with, because when we did in
I found her a pain in the ass.
I had a blast.
I'm just kidding.
Mike.
It's because I ride Mike hard all the time about like.
And I'm just happy.
I want to be directed by her now. Next,
Do you really?
as long as it's not a musical.
Okay, fair.
It'll be a musical.
I don't know if I want to direct a musical
There's
anytime soon.
exceptions to
I
every
direct
rule. I won't
kids
put
musicals. I don't. That's enough. That's enough.
But yeah, no, it's always a pleasure working with you. I felt like
It's always a
I
pleasure.
felt
We
like I
need
worked working with you.
we need to get you to the dark side a little bit and come down to Infinite and do some other stuff with us.
Yeah, I'm spread a little too thin between
Well, I
Leduc
know,
and Camrose and
I am
Edmonton and
too,
everywhere.
And even this year, I drew back, and I'm hoping we can get a director and somebody for Shakespeare. We'll do Shakespeare next year, and then I can focus on one project or two and just kind of help out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do the French. If you have any ideas on original scripts, Try and convince Cole to join us, and I don't know, you mommy type people, if you can find it. Yeah, I don't. It's not you that's the problem. It's your husband.
How dare you need to look after your children?
He'll really enjoy doing your widow drama thing. You should interview him. He'll have a whole lot to say about
I'll give you a lot of material.
We get him and my wife together, and
and
we'll
they'll
talk
just
about that.
rant. It'll be a 45-minute rant.
Tell him that if he makes us a wicked cool jingle tune, I don't care whether it's a whole song, we'll do a whole podcast all on the vasectomies.
My husband's band.
Yes, and
Ask him very nicely.
yes. So,
Well, thank you guys so much for inviting me. This was fun.
Thank you.
well, thank
I was
you.
a little nervous, but it's because I was like, I've never done anything like this. But then just talking about theater just get me going, and I never shut up.
and
So
then I just got super excited. So.
Well, this is the third attempt at a podcast that I've done, and I found that, the more relaxed you are and forget about everything else. So, any messages for anybody out there that's thinking about art and drama and getting out? Any tricks, tips that you've done?
go out and audition to anything and everything. Just get your foot in the door. Don't scare yourself out of trying, and don't stop if you don't get in the first couple of times.
Just because you don't get the role didn't mean you weren't good enough. It
Exactly.
just means you weren't the right person.
Exactly. There's almost always more people than what you need. So somebody has to get the, sorry, I don't have a role for you this time, email or phone call. But yeah, just be brave and just give it a try.
Be uncomfortable.
Be willing.
something
Be willing to be uncomfortable and try something new. I took a chance on a couple brand newbies in this show that I have going up, Crimson Cap Ladies, next week, and I am beyond blessed and happy that I made that choice to cast them. Even I didn't know them from Adam, and and I just had a feeling. I'm like, they're new, they don't have much on their resumes, but I like what I see, and I think they're people I want to work with, and I was right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Most cases, passion and drive trumps experience. In most cases. And so just get out there, give it a shot. And remember, what do we want people to remember? That your mental health is probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
and that we all got to deal with something, and everybody's dealing with something you don't know about. So try to be nice to everybody, and
Just be kind.
just be kind.
Be willing to fail.
Be willing to fail.
Rewind.
Rewind. Be kind and rewind.
Be kind and rewind.
And breathe. Breathing is so important.
And in the great words of Ted Lasso, believe. Good night. Hurry, heat up meters. Yeah. Yeah. Hurry, heat up meters. Whoa. Whoa.